إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. ما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله خير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Today inshallah we talk about Bab al-Iddah, and al-Iddah is that period of time where the woman has to stay away from certain things, especially getting married to another person after her divorce, or after the death of her husband, or after the disappearance of her husband, or after khulu', or many different issues that we will talk about inshallah. As usual, we read what the author rahimahullah said. قال المصنف رحمه الله باب العدة ولا عدة على من فارقها زوجها في الحياة قبل المسيس لقول الله تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نكحتم المؤمنات ثم طلقتموهن من قبل أن تمسوهن فما لكم عليهن من عدة تعتدونها والمعتدات ينقسمن 4 أقسام إحداهن أولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ولو كانت حاملا بتوأمين لم تنقض عدتها حتى تضع الثاني منهما والحمل الذي تنقضي به العدة وتصير به الأمة أم ولد ما يتبين فيه شيء من خلق الإنسان الثاني اللاتي توفي أزواجهن يتربصن بأنفسهن 4 أشهر و10 والإيماء على النصف من ذلك وما قبل المسيس وبعده سواء ثالث المطلقات من ذوات القروء يتربصن بأنفسهن 3 قروء وقروء الأمة حيضتان الرابع اللاتي يئسن من المحيض فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وللأمة شهران. يعني we've been talking about the issue of divorce, and supposedly a woman get divorced, she will have a iddah, but since they talk about the iddah, then they usually talk about every scenario that involves iddah, so the iddah is not only restricted to divorce, it can take place after the death of a husband or his disappearance, as we will see. So here the author rahimahullah talks about the iddah and its all situations and all scenarios and how long this iddah and some of the details of it. So العدة يعني لغة مدة التربص محدودة. تربص يعني الانتظار, the period that a woman needs to wait. Linguistically, عدة means to wait. يعني a period you wait. And when we talk about the meaning in Shar' and Mustalah, we refer to the scenarios we will speak about inshallah. وشرعا مدة معلومة تتربص فيها المرأة لتعرف براءة رحمها. The ulama يعني they have different opinion why the woman needs to wait, but in general a lot of the opinions the same thing, that to make sure that she's not pregnant. But we will see there are more reasons than that, because this is something you can find out in a month. You can find out in one hayda. You don't need to wait 3 hayda or 4 months. So we'll see more details about the reason why a woman needs to wait X amount of time, just more than to make sure she's not pregnant from her previous husband. حكمها واجبة. العدة it's mandatory, and it's not a matter of choice. The woman has to go through this. She has to wait this amount of time, depending on her situation. She has to wait this amount of time as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed. And you have to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the issue of al-iddah in the Quran in too many different ayats, about the waiting period for a woman, divorcee, waiting period for a widow, and all that to show you the importance of this issue. So this issue is very important for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thus it must be important to us. حكمها واجب. It's mandatory, as I said, so it's an obligatory, and the woman has no choice to say, Wallah, I don't feel like going through the iddah, I'm gonna just get married after 2 weeks of the death of my husband, for example, or nah, she can't do that. And such marriage, as we will talk about later on, is haram and invalid and void. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى والمطلقات يتربصن بأنفسهن ثلاثة قروء. And this ayah talks about divorced women, they should wait 3 قروء, and we will talk about what that means. ويقول الله سبحانه وتعالى وأولو الأحمال وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن. And أولاة الأحمال, the pregnant women, Allah talks about how long their iddah is. واللائي يئسن من المحيض. يعني the ayah are many talking about the different scenarios and how long is the period of al-iddah for each one, to indicate that this issue is important. This issue is important. قال المؤلف رحمه الله ولا عدة على من فارقها زوجها في الحياة قبل المسيس. أحد النسخ قبل المسيس والخلوة. Fine. First thing, he's saying there is no iddah for a woman who was married but her husband never touched her. Okay? There is no iddah. The first point he talks about, there is no iddah there is no iddah for a woman whose husband whose husband divorces her but before he touches her. And in different edition of the book, there is the other word khalwa added in addition to al-masis. And this al-masis, that we need to understand what that means to see the difference in opinion regarding this point, regarding al-khalwa. And we have spoken about al-khalwa before. Khalwa is for the husband to be alone with his wife. The point is, if a woman marries a man, they do the marriage contract, aqd al-nikah, but he doesn't consummate the marriage. Okay? Then he decides to divorce her. It's not working out, you're divorced. They split. They call it off. Before he had the chance to touch her, in the sense to sleep with her. As we will see, touching here we refer to is consummating the marriage, yani intercourse. So if a husband marries a woman and before he has the intercourse with her, he divorces her, he's saying, rahimahullah, this is opinion of Hanabila, and actually this is the ijma', but I mentioned the Hanabila because that's where the difference comes with the khalwa. So in the Quran, we know that a woman who's her story, gets married, before the marriage is consummated, she's divorced, there is no iddah. The husband has no iddah over her. Okay, so she doesn't have to. She can be divorced now, okay, at 9 o'clock and get married 9:30 to another man. That is the woman who married a man and he divorced her before he had the chance to have intercourse with her. Some of the ulama added, and that's where the other opinion comes, and they said if there is khalwa, يعني if the husband had the opportunity to be alone with this wife, even if he didn't touch her, then we're gonna say she has to have iddah. That as if he had touched her. They said this is because he was given the opportunity. Okay, he was given the opportunity to do that. So since whether he took the opportunity or he didn't, he got the access. Whether he chose to do it or not, that's his problem. But the fact that he was alone with her, then we're gonna say there is iddah. So these are the opinions. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نكحتم المؤمنات ثم طلقتموهن من قبل أن تمسوهن فما لكم عليهن من عدة تعتدون. The ayah صريحة, very clear. All you who believe, if you marry women, the believers, and divorce them, then before you touch them, no iddah. Now the ulama, What? So why would they have different opinions? They said they had different opinions because of the understanding of the word تمسوهن. من قبل أن تمسوهن. If you divorce them before you تمسوهن. What is the meaning of تمسوهن? That's where the ulama have different opinions. That's why you find some of the ulama said تمسوهن يعني تطأوهن. Okay? يعني to sleep with them. So if you divorce them before you sleep with them, that's it. Then there is no iddah. The other said, لا. تمسوهن, meaning those who said, for example, al-khalwa is enough to require iddah. They said he was given the chance to have intercourse. He didn't take the advantage of it, but so still he is or now the iddah takes place. That is where the two different opinions sit. So القول الأول أن المرأة إذا خلا بها زوجها وجبت عليها العدة وإن لم يمسها. The first opinion, that if the woman is alone with the husband, then the iddah becomes mandatory. Even if it's for a few seconds, becomes mandatory, because even if he did not sleep with her, and the reason for that, as we said, because he had access but he didn't do it. طيب, what's their dalil? قالوا their dalil, the consensus of the Sahaba. Okay? This is a big thing. When you say ijma' al-Sahaba, if the Sahaba all agreed on one thing, we do not go to another thing. Okay? يعني if the Sahaba, when the Sahaba would agree, that is a strong dalil. When we have difference amongst the Sahaba, then we really don't have the obligation to follow anyone, but we follow the one with the strongest opinion. So the dalil, or the first dalil of those who said there is iddah if khalwa, or being alone with the wife, took place even if there is no intercourse, their dalil first is the ijma' of the Sahaba. If this ijma' of the Sahaba is authenticated, then we're going to say this is the right opinion. But is it authenticated? Let's see. عن زرارة بن أبي أوفى زرارة بن أبي أوفى قال قضى الخلفاء الراشدون بأن من أغلق بابا أو أرخى حجابا فقد وجب المهر ووجبت العدة. السلام ورحمة الله. قالوا لأنه عقد على المنافع فالتمكين فيه يجري مجرى الاستيفاء. As I said, because it's a contract that allows intercourse. So just to be given that chance, whether you choose to take it or not to take it, that's it. That's your issue. But the consequence will take place. But the ijma', they said, and Zurara ibn Abi Awfa, they said that, he said that the Khulafa al-Rashidin, the four Khulafa, ruled that if a man or a husband gets the chance to be alone with his wife that he just got married, without intercourse, or arkhu hijaba, or يعني they even put a curtain between them and the people, يعني to be alone whatever period of time, then the mahr becomes mandatory and the iddah becomes mandatory. Okay? طيب. Now the sanad of Zurara ibn Abi Awfa is weak. The Khulafa al-Rashidin ruled that is weak. And second, the Khulafa al-Rashidin ruling that doesn't indicate consensus, doesn't indicate ijma' of the Sahaba, because we will see some other Sahaba ruled otherwise. طيب. قول الثاني أن المرأة إذا خلا بها زوجها ولم يمسها فإنه لا تجب العدة عليه. The second opinion, if the wife is alone with the husband but he did not consummate or have intercourse with her, then there is no iddah. Okay? Whose opinion is that? That is the opinion of Ibn Mas'ud and Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu. When they came to give the tafsir of the وَلَا تَمَسُّوهُنْ, when they gave the tafsir من قبل أن تمسوهن, before, يعني if you divorce them before you تمسوهن, they said يعني تطأوهن. And we know Ibn Mas'ud and Ibn Abbas, يعني Ibn Abbas حبر الأم, and Turjuman al-Quran, and one of the biggest of the scholars of the Sahaba, and the Prophet ﷺ made dua for him to understand the Quran. So this is a very strong opinion. And second, that indicates there is no consensus amongst the Sahaba. Alright? And third, the story that, or the hadith or the athar and Zurara is weak. That said, the Khulafa al-Rashidin ruled that. But even if we're going to assume they did rule that, now we have Ibn Abbas and Ibn Mas'ud to tell us they ruled otherwise. Okay? So it's very important to see all these different. But what is their dalil? First dalil is how Ibn Mas'ud and Ibn Abbas gave the tafsir of the word تمسوهن. واستدلوا بأثر عن ابن عباس أنه قال في الرجل يتزوج المرأة فيخلو بها ولا يمسها ثم يطلقها قال ليس لها إلا نصف الصدق. And also there is أثر for Ibn Abbas that if a man marries a woman, then he divorces her before he is alone with her. He said she gets half of the dowry. Because we said if a woman gets married and divorced before the consummation, she is entitled for half of the dowry. But in the Athar of Zurara, they said if he's alone with her, the Khulafa al-Rashidin ruled she gets the full dowry and the iddah. So here you have another Athar to show that the consensus of the Sahaba is not, didn't take place, and this Athar is Sahih. So obviously from this adillah we see that the opinion that even if that is the opinion of those who say the khalwa without intercourse does not mandate the iddah, is a very strong opinion. Even to those who adopt the opinion that if he is alone with her, and if khalwa takes place, then she has to do the iddah. They said, but in a scenario, if he kisses her in front of people, then there is no iddah, and then he divorces her. If he kisses her in front of people, and he hugs her in front of people, and he holds her in front of people, there is no iddah. But if he's alone with her, even if he does not touch her, there is iddah. Alright? And again we said, because they said since he got the opportunity to be alone with her, he had the chance to consummate, but he chose not to. That does not save him. But obviously the dalils, or the dalil of those who said khalwa, if intercourse did not take place, does not obligate the iddah and does not obligate full of the mahr, is a very, very strong opinion. So the whole story يعني تدور حول معنى المسيس، معنى يمس فلا من قبل أن تمسوهن. Okay, من قبل أن تمسوهن. قال المؤلف رحمه. So the bottom line is, the stronger opinion is if being alone took place but no intercourse, then we say there is no عدة. قال المؤلف رحمه الله والمعتدات ينقسمن 4 أقسام. الأول ولاة الأحمال فعدتهن أن يضعن حملهن. The women who go through, women who are obligated to have their iddah. Four different types he mentions here. There are more, but here he mentions 4 different types. One, he said ولاة الأحمال, pregnant women. The pregnant woman, if she gets divorced during her pregnancy or her husband dies, then her iddah is to give birth. Her iddah to give birth. Okay? Very clear. You need to understand that very well, because we're going to come through a little complication. So a woman who's pregnant, get divorced, her iddah is to, once she gives birth, that's the end of her iddah. يعني very much her iddah can be 1 minute. Actually they said she might have her iddah over and her husband is still on the table being washed. If her iddah is to give birth. Alright? So the iddah of a pregnant woman can be so short as I just described. Very important, whether it's long or short. It doesn't matter how long this pregnancy takes, and doesn't matter how short, because some went into little details and it has to be at least a day, at least 3 days, at least this, at least that. Nah. Khas. If she gives birth, that's that. But this birth has to meet certain criteria. Okay? This birth has to meet certain criteria. قال المؤلف رحمه الله ولو كانت حاملا بتوأمين لم تنقضي عدتها حتى تضع الثاني منهم. If she is pregnant with a twin, then her iddah is over only once she gives birth to both of them. Okay? حتى يضعن حملهن. That means once she is done with all her births. So if she's pregnant with two, the iddah ends with the coming of the last one. طيب, which kind of pregnancy that will count? Okay? Which type of pregnancy that will count? قال والحمل الذي تنقضي به العدة وتصير به الأمة أم ولد. This تصير به الأمة أم ولد is in different copy. ما يتبين فيه خلق الإنسان. Yeah. For this delivery to be effective, يعني for the delivery of the baby to end the iddah, it has to be a birth of a human being looking birth, whether alive or dead. But the birth has to have the features of a human being. And someone will say, what it's going to look like? What else? It can take place way before the form of a human being takes place. يعني still nutfa, still alaqa. You can't say this looks like a human being. Because if it takes place then her iddah is regular. Will be ثلاثة قروء. So the birth of the child, whether he's alive or dead, whether it's after 9 months or it's after a few months, if what the woman gives birth to looks like a human being, then such birth will end the iddah. But if what comes out still so early that there is no features, no characters of a human being, then she has to continue with her iddah until she passed the required iddah, different from divorcee than a widow. But what is the period? Or what's the period that you can distinguish a human being looking? Like from the Quran and from the Sunnah. What's that period? 4 months? 4 months is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Mas'ud, when the soul is blown into the fetus. But the characters take place way before. These characters take place way before than 4 months. He starts looking like a human being. Okay? Month and a half? 40 days? Okay. Why 40 days? Huh? Ruh, we said 120 days. طيب, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which part of, we know there is nutfa, there is alaqa, there is mudgha, which one of those Allah described as mukhallaqa? The nutfa, the alaqa, or the mudgha? Alaqa. Huh? لا. مضغة. مضغة مخلقة وغير مخلقة. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says al-mudgha is the one that at that stage that start having characters. مخلق has features. Going back to the hadith of Ibn Mas'ud, okay? The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the first 40 days, and then the nutfa, then the next 40 days the alaqa, then after the second 40 days the mudghah. So very much the stage of the mudghah starts after the day 80. Okay? 80. That's the body. Yeah. So after the 80 days, the fetus starts, according to the Sunnah, the fetus starts forming or having character. Now if you look at the calculations when a woman gets pregnant, the modern calculations, it's not to count as Shari'i calculation, because they don't do that. Because for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Sunnah, the counting starts from the time of inception. For in the medical field, when they count that, they count from the first day of the last period, the end of the last period, or the beginning of the last period. So the point is, they really did not start at the right time. And that really has a lot of ahkam based on that. Like a lot of ahkam based on how long the fetus been in the womb. Okay? And include part of those ahkam is the iddah. Okay? Is the iddah. Part of those ahkam is the period, the blood. Okay? So it's very important to understand this. So the condition for a pregnancy or a birth to count or to end the iddah of a divorced or a widow woman when it comes to this world, has to have the characters differentiated and the characters figured out. Okay. قال الثاني, so now we're done with the pregnant woman. So her iddah is until she gives birth. When she gives birth, the iddah is over. Okay? And this birth has to have features of a human being. قال الثاني اللاتي توفي أزواجهن يتربصن 4 أشهر وعشرة. Second scenario is a woman whose husband died. Okay? Whose husband died. And the ayah is clear. They wait 4 months and 10 days. Okay? 4 months and 10 days. That's about 130 days. قل الله سبحانه وتعالى والذين يتوفون منكم ويذرون أزواجا يتربصن بأنفسهن 4 أشهر وعشرة. والإماء على نصف من ذلك, the slave women get half of 4 months and 10 days. وما قبل المسيس وما بعده سنة. Now this is a critical point. We said if a woman who gets married and then get divorced before the consummation of the marriage, there is no iddah. And she gets half of the month. But if a woman gets married and before the consummation of the marriage, the husband dies, not iddah. Not iddah, no divorce, it's death. Here the husband died. When he divorced her before he touched her, or before he consummated the marriage, there was no iddah. Here, when he dies, before he consummated the marriage, there is iddah. So for a woman whose husband died, whether he touched her or he didn't sleep with her, she still have iddah. Okay? She still has her iddah. And she inherits. Okay? She has the dowry. So all these things. That's why he said, وَمَا قَبْلَ الْمَسِيسِ وَمَا بَعْدَهُ سَوَى. So for a widow, before consummation or after consummation, it's equal. Her iddah is 4 months and 10 days. قال المؤلف الثالث المطلقات من ذوات القروء. The divorced women, ذوات القروء. إيه القروء يعني الحيض. The ulama, some gave the meaning الطهارة and some gave meaning الحيض. That's where the difference. She waits, the divorced one waits 3 حيضات or 3 طهارات. Okay? So they differed on the meaning of القروء. But the Sunnah supports the fact that القرء or القروء indicates الحيض. قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم دع الصلاة أيام أقرائك. Stop praying the days of your قروء or أقراء. Obviously the woman leaves salah during the days of her حيض, her period. So that is a strong dalil that القروء means الحيض. Okay? So the woman who is still having her period, if she gets divorced, she waits 3 haydwat, 3 periods. If she gets divorced during her period, we said this divorce is bid'i, it's innovation. But we said the stronger opinion, it counts. It's haram to divorce a woman during her period. But if you do, it counts. We said Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Qayyim, they said it doesn't count. That's different opinion. And they have their reasons. But the point is, the Jumhur and the stronger opinion, that it counts if a woman is divorced during her period. But it's haram, because that means you will make her wait way longer than if you would divorce her when she's clean. Because if you divorce her when she's clean, maybe the next day she gets her period, start counting. But if you divorce her during her period, that means she has to wait for the whole period to be over. She has to go through cleaning period. And then she start counting from that. So that can be a month extra. Okay? And that is delaying her interest and all that. So very important to understand. So if the strong opinion that al-qaru means al-hayd, then a woman who's still having her period, she's still having her cycles regular, then she waits 3 periods before she can marry someone or for her iddah to be up. وَقُرْءُ الْأَمَةِ حَيْضَتَانِ. And a slave woman, her period is, or her iddah is 2 periods. Because half of 3 periods, 1.5, so najbar al-kasr, you round it to complete number, that is 2. قال المؤلف رحمه الله الرابع اللائي يئسن من المحيض فعدتهن 3 أشهر. So first we had the pregnant women and their iddah to give birth. Second, we have the women whose husband dies, whether the marriage consummated or not, their period 4 months and 10 days. Third, the woman whose her cycle, she's still having her cycle normal, she waits 3 periods, 3 complete periods, not counting the period if she gets divorced in or during. Okay? Now the fourth, women who reach their menses, they don't have periods anymore, they're old. Okay? Or women who married before they had their period, before they started having their period. Okay? So if this takes place and this woman gets divorced, then her iddah is 3 months. 3 months. Okay? Because she doesn't have period to count and go along with or to go by. So her period, her iddah, is 3 months. واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحض. قال المؤلف والأمة شهرا. Okay. Some issues the author rahimahullah didn't mention. Okay? One is
why the Amma in this case is 1 month, not 2 months?
شهران. Another issue he didn't mention المختلعة. المختلعة is the woman who asked for divorce. She's abused. There are issues with her, between her and her husband. She cannot take it anymore. He's not fulfilling his duties toward her. Whatever the scenario is, she doesn't love him. Whatever the scenario is, and he refuses to divorce. So she has to reach, or she has to go to a judge or a qadi to get her free. And sometimes a woman comes and said, he's great, he's this, he's that, but I just don't love him. I can't stay with him, I can't live with him. And he's refusing to divorce her. Then she can take khulu, and we know the Prophet ﷺ ruled that she gives back what she took from this man. But the bottom line is, if al-khulu takes place, now al-khulu isn't divorce, but al-khulu can take place through divorce. A woman goes to the judge and she said, I don't want to live with him. He's this, 1, 2, 3. So the judge calls him over. He tells him she wants you to divorce her. If he divorces her, that's khulu, because she asked for it. So whether it takes place through using the word you're divorced, okay, or through the terms of al-khulu, okay, and we talked about al-khulu, then the correct opinion, her iddah is 1 hayda, 1 period. Okay? The strong opinion, her iddah is 1 hayd, 1 period. قول ابن عباس إن امرأة ثابت بن قيس اختلعت منه فجعل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عدتها حيضة. Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, a woman asked for khulu, so the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, after she was granted khulu, made her iddah 1 hayd. This hadith is sahih. And the other opinion said 3 haydat, just like if she's divorced. But the dalil, the strong dalil goes with those who said 1 hayda, 1 period. And that is the stronger opinion. So very much this what I needed to cover about al-hayd or about al-iddah. And next time we will talk about scenarios where the woman what the ulama call tarabbus, that means الانتظار. Other scenarios that the woman needs to wait some period in addition to the iddah. Okay? Because how the woman loses her husband? If he divorces her, or if he dies. But what if he disappears? What if he goes missing? What if she loses any contact with him? Okay? These things will have different. When do we rule a husband is divorced from his wife? After his disappearance. Okay? So all these scenarios, we have to have solutions for. A woman comes and she said, I haven't heard from my husband for the last 5 years. Am I divorced? Can I marry someone else? Can I? Okay? So, the ulama have spoken about these scenarios and about these issues. So that's what we will discuss next time, inshallah. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.